I realized the other day, my friends, that I haven't told you much about who I am. And I would like to share some of the things I have thought about. When I was young growing up, as all children, we don't realize the gift of time. But my parents had the time to spend with us children. And, and my mother, bless her heart, and my father both thought music was important. And I didn't question that. We girls started playing the violin. I was 5. And through the years, I stopped and then I started again. And it wasn't until I was an adult with children that I realized the gift. My grandfather played the violin. I didn't know that. My great grandfather, I didn't know he played or made them. But through that legacy, my children were given the opportunity to enjoy their music, for my children also learned to play different instruments, violins, violas, cellos, and they were playing, my children would play their instruments with my grandparents and their siblings. Now, how many children have the opportunity to grow up playing music with their great grandparents and their families and their grandparents and with us? And it made such a difference in our life. And I think those are the things that make us who we are. I have enjoyed looking back through my life, and my parents took the time to help us learn how to be social, how to be polite, how to be correct, how to be silly. They played marbles with us. They played jacks. They jumped rope with us. But then you see, we didn't have anything else to do. And so I realized when my children came along, I wanted them to have the same things that I did, because they taught me to be an individual. My father taught me to be a girl. I don't think people realize that fathers are the ones that teach their daughters to be women. We learn the skills from homemaking from our mothers. But my dad, he took us girls with him and he taught us to camp and to hike and to build. And when he was scoutmaster, he still took us girls with him, with the scouts. And that's when I learned, even though I am very capable, the boys carried my lunch, because they were learning to be gentlemen. Now, it's funny now looking back, because I carried some of those boys back down the mountain on my back. But that's okay. They were learning to be gentlemen, and I was learning to appreciate what a man can do and should do with women. So I learned to tell them thank you and how wonderful they were, and appreciate all the things that they did for me. In turn, they did more. And so when people ask me, how did I learn some of the skills working with men? I told them, my daddy taught me. He taught me to be a girl. And these are the memories that I am enjoying. I enjoy sharing my knowledge with my children and my grandchildren. And I am still teaching camping skills, and I'm still teaching music and manners and creative things. Because you don't grow old in your memory, and you don't grow old and lose the knowledge. And knowledge is so important in all kinds of areas. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, how big or small you are. Knowledge is a gift for everyone, and they choose how to use it. So as I tell you the stories from Grandma's Corner, I must tell you that they come from experiences. One of my favorites with my children was about a cow. I had a son who couldn't understand controlling his temper, and I had tried everything I could think of to help him understand, and it didn't work. So one day I bought a calf and brought it home. He was 12. I gave him the calf, and here's the deal. Here's your calf. And it was still being bottle fed, and everybody loves to bottle feed calves, and they'll suck on your fingers. It's so fun. But if the cow had water, he could have water to drink. If the cow was fed properly, he would get fed the same way. And if he was taking care of the cow, I would take care of him. I would like to tell you that that was a smooth transition, but it wasn't. First off, the calf was so cute. He fell in love with her. Well, he couldn't hurt her feelings. He couldn't scold her or teach her to use a halter because it would make her unhappy. So as the cow grew and he read all of Lewis L'Amour's books to her and his scriptures, he laid out with her as she chewed her cud. Her cud. Sorry, my language. And finally, the day came when she had had a calf and it was time to milk her. But he had not taught his cow how to be led with a halter into the barn. She ate in the same feeder, but he didn't close the stanchion on her neck so she couldn't get out because it would have hurt her feelings. That day, it took 4 men and 1 boy with 3 sets of hobbles on that poor cow's feet to manhandle her into the barn. And when all was said and done, my son came in the house with tears running down his cheeks. And he looked at me and he said, "Mama, discipline is love, huh?" And I said, "Yes, that's true." And he learned one thing. It took him a year to finally get how to lead his cow with a halter. And that's a mechanical thing. It's not hard to do. And he learned if he went out angry to milk his cow, she would pee on the ground and get it in the milk, or she'd smack him with her tail, or kick the bucket over, depending on how impatient he was. But in time, he and the cow both learned love and patience and appreciation. And that is one of my favorite memories as a mom for solving problems that nothing else worked. So I just wanted you to know what I share comes from my life experiences, my children's life with us, and how to grow old cheerfully most of the time, but gracefully, appreciating the changing of the status of a child to an adult. And in the end, the adult becomes the mother figure, and the child becomes the mother. That's kind of where I am right now. I can't walk. I can't do things a lot. My body has been breaking down. And my children, bless their hearts, have been caring for me and making sure that I have all that I need, including what I eat, how my bed is made. And it has been an interesting journey, and in time, I'll share stories. I just thought it would be nice if you knew who I was.